Franklin Town Board was called to order by Supervisor Jeff Taggart at 6:12 p.m. Present were Jeff Taggart, Garrett Sitz, David Grant, Donnie Smith, Dwight Bruno, Paul Warner, and Jamie Archibald. The meetings were read from the February 5th, 2019 meeting. David Grant made the motion to accept minutes as read. Dwight Bruno seconded the motion. All present agreed. The minutes were read from the February 19th special meeting. Garrett Sitz made the motion to accept minutes as read. David Grant seconded the motion. All present agreed. Jamie Archibald represented Mark Lang. He said next month all bills will be in and open. 2 estimates were presented for a diagnostic computer for the shop. Donnie Smith made the motion to go with Diesel Laptops LLC as it was the best deal and is compatible with all of the town's equipment. David Grant seconded the motion. All present agreed. Garrett Sitz made the motion to extend the resolution to bid on a grader up to the agreed amount of $80,000. David Grant seconded the motion. All present agreed. Jeff will call the town attorney about the Kellogg Foundation attorney's bill. The planning board will have a public hearing on March 7th at 7:30 for used car sales at Brian Sickler's and a dog kennel on State Route 357. The new town offices were discussed. The old Bradley House on Main Street owned by Chris Downen is still being considered. Garrett Sitz made the motion to approve the audit done on the town of Franklin books by Dwight Bruno and Donnie Smith. Dwight Bruno seconded the motion. All present agreed. David Grant made the motion to adopt the resolution in support of assessment equity through periodic reappraisal. Donnie Smith seconded the motion. All present agreed. Brenton Muller, however, will email Treadwell water reports to the town clerk so that they can be given to Supervisor Taggart. Amanda Groff gave an update on the Recreation Commission. With nothing further to come before the board, Garrett Sitz made the motion to adjourn at 6:49 p.m. Donnie Smith seconded the motion, and all present agreed.
Any additions or corrections? I have one. It's bill. You said bill in with the, but it's, the bids were going to be open this month. Early on, you said something about the bid billing prices, not the bid prices. Bids instead of billing. Or towards the very start.
All bids will be in and open.
Yeah, but that's not how you said it. So.
Oh, okay, well, that's what it
said
says.
billing.
Okay.
No, that's good. I thought I heard billing or something.
Maybe I did.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe I
was
combined Bill and Will. Bid and Will.
Okay. Any other, do I have a motion to accept the minutes as presented?
I'll make a motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded, all in favor? Carried. Okay, is there anything from the Kellogg Foundation, Blake?
No, our last Wednesday of this month, we'll have our first meeting.
And Mrs.
Haneke.
Haneke,
Yeah.
did I talked to her on, whatever, Sunday night, Monday? I think it was Sunday night I talked to her. And she had concern because there were individuals walking around on the A.L. Kellogg athletic fields with metal detectors, and, they dig up and then they set it all back. There wasn't any problem, but she said also, it wasn't just on the foundation's property. They seemed the boundaries were no issues. So she didn't know whether it was, whether there should be signage or something, is the town responsible for anything like that? I mean, they've been doing it for years, I guess, at the foundation, at the A.L. Kellogg fields. But I don't know if it's something to be concerned about or not, and she was gonna bring it to your board meeting at the end of the month. But that's what she had called, told you that she had called and wasn't sure what it was about. And that's what it was about, so it's nothing mind-shattering, but a concern.
Looking for spare change or something.
Yeah, whatever, I'm not sure. Okay. So I guess, Donna, you can come right up and,
Like, come right up?
if you want, or you can stay right, wherever you feel at ease.
Well, as we've discussed, last year, and I talked with Garrett, personally, and I think that was discussed in the board meeting here, the cemetery sidewalk. It's in disrepair, it's really bad, and Sonia, you've probably seen it too. So, looking toward the town, seeing how it's in the township of Franklin, to see what they can do.
Right.
And that lady, Jeff, that you told me to talk to,
Yeah.
I did call her up,
Okay.
and there really isn't any monies that she can help us with,
Right.
but it's more of a walking trail. But yes, our cemetery is used for walking,
Well, yeah.
but I think it's more like trails type of thing, from what I
Yeah.
understood.
Right, yep, okay. Okay,
And-
yeah, I know Donnie and I have talked a little bit about this a couple weeks ago, I think. We were.
Yeah, I've done a little work on it.
Go ahead, Donnie.
It's been discussed a little bit, the possibility of removing the old stones and looking it over. I'm trying to get another guy that's worked with stone quite a bit. One thing that it appears is putting a layer of crusher run over top of all the existing, whether we remove the stone or not, and find a final grade there, and putting some sand over top of it. And I spoke with a gentleman that works in a stone quarry, and basically, it looks like we would need roughly 60 pieces of 3x4s, which is that's a mix, but a lot of them are, but that's kind of a standard pattern, is 3 foot by 4 foot. And by getting them through him instead of through a stone dock, we can cut our cost almost 50% on the stone. And he was agreeable to it, but I needed to get a little more confirmation, I'm pretty sure his quarry can. The thing of it is 1.5 to 2 inches what you want for sidewalk stone, obviously, and make sure that he's got a line that doesn't have reed in it that can accomplish that. If not, I know of one of them is his brother also cut stone, a quarry, and I think a combination, we might be able to come up, you know. But like I said, I went back and looked at it again. I'd kind of like to, if it's possible, but I want to take someone that's, I was gonna see if Darren would be willing to come along, and I'm sure he will, and see, basically putting crusher run over the existing stone, because my concern is pulling the old stone, the way they've shifted, the stone wall is beautiful that's there, and I don't want to disturb that.
Thank you.
And we do have to get some level grade that exists, and crusher run packs nice, and there's gonna be places there might be only 1 inch of crusher run, there's gonna be other places there'll be 4 inches of crusher run, which is not a big deal, because it does pack nice. Then go over it with like 1 inch of sand, so that when we set the stones, you know, you got something to work with. That's as far as I've gone.
Well, that's a lot farther than what, you know, we've been able to.
I have to say, Chris Downing gave me a little advice,
Thank you.
also on, because he's worked with stone a little bit more than what I have at different odd jobs, so, but anyhow, that's basically a rundown of what is being considered. I was talking with Jeff, and I spoke with Darren. I didn't have an exact number as to how many pieces we would need, and I didn't hammer Darren down on anything just yet.
Right.
But like Jeff and I were talking, if we can get in there and look it over, and if nothing else, I know it's not gonna look as nice, but if we can put crusher run down and pack it for at least Memorial Day, when obviously that's the heaviest traffic, and then continue with the project, is kind of what we're thinking, cause walking in on Memorial Day, it'd be nice to have somewhat of a nice surface to walk on instead of doing this, especially people that do have troubles getting around and such, not, they would appreciate it.
And we all appreciate it, and the village and the town, the village people use it a lot for walking also. Now, and also, I'm sure that you've noticed, that's a sidewalk that gets really a lot of rough use from the plow trucks. I mean, they turn that soil over and dump it right there. So I think going your route, where it's 50% less cost, is smarter, because of the salt and.
I think the stone will hold up better. I mean, we discussed concrete, which is a possibility, but I think the stone, first of all, would look nice considering it is the cemetery.
I agree.
And if it's cost effective and we can do it like it's looking better all the while after talking with Darren. But the other part is, like you're saying, the location relative to the road, all of that salt and everything is gonna get knocked, and it is gonna, that sidewalk is probably gonna take more element damage than the rest of them, just because it's got the stone wall on one side of it and the road slopes down, and it kind of, where I think the stone will drain away what's there better than what concrete, and hopefully not break up like we've seen concrete do, you know what I'm saying?
That's great.
Um, no promises, but that's kind of what it's at. I considered possibly going around and seeing about possibly maybe doing some donation ends. I've had people do mention to me that they would be interested in contributing to the cause. So I need to get a hold of Brian Sickler. Last I was aware, he's president.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I wanna speak with Brian because it is relative to the cemetery, and have a sit down with them and make sure that they're on board with it and everything's fine. But I think Jeff did get a letter from them, right?
Yes, yeah, Donna gave us a letter.
And so with that, but I just thought it'd be appropriate to, I'd touch base with Brian and just go from there. But like I said, no promises, but that's what it's looking like right now.
Looks good.
And the amazing part is, as Donnie said, you were talking like $50 a stone.
Relatively, in that area
Right, in
for the
that
most
area.
part,
Right,
you
for the
know.
most part, and if you're talking 60 pieces, oh, no, was it 60?
Yeah, 60 pieces is roughly what it would be.
You're talking.
$3,000.
$3,000 or so for the
Just
stone.
for the stones.
And that's,
4 feet wide.
Yeah.
so that's not an outrageous amount of money, I shouldn't say that, but it isn't. $3,000 for 200-foot walk is pretty reasonable.
I can't remember what the term is about this. Prevailing wage, I think that's it. Do we have to pay that? Is that something that has to be considered?
If you get a new contractor, yes.
I'm
That's not my-
kind of thinking that, considering it's a community kind of thing, that I think the cemetery holds enough value in this community that I think that won't be an issue, I'm hoping, you know.
And that's what
I think people will be more than willing to, if we can organize enough of it, get help in and make a go of it, and, you know.
Well, count me in. I can make cookies and lemonade.
I'm in.
I mean, truly, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Danny. Okay, now, since, we'll go back to our normal procedure, and we'll let Mark, you have stuff for us, Mark?
Yeah, we got bids tonight. So, we'll start with that. On that bid sheet, I changed this around a little bit, so it's a little less confusing, but you'll see in 2018 on the fluctuating, the first number under heating, that was the rack price. So that's what would go up and down, and then the center number, that was the one that holds through all year. So last year it was at $2.37. Yeah, 2.3731 was that. What we ended up doing was we took all the firm prices, which are in there for 2018. So when we get first one and only one for fuel is, imagine that, Maravitos. And it's Maravito Energy Products out of Bennington now. And it will be for all three, for the two fluctuating units, but the three heating, diesel and the blend. So this year, all right, so right heating oil is 2.0301, and the fixed price is the same as it was last year, 0.3200.
Oh, the delivery fee.
Yeah,
Right.
0.01, yeah.
And that's a fluctuating at this date, I mean, that's what these other prices were on April, whatever it was last year, that's what the prices they gave us, not what it actually went to.
So if you did that, the fluctuating price as of yesterday, 4/1, would be 2.3501.
2 cents less than last year.
So that was on heating oil, low sulfur, which is just diesel. That's gonna come down as, the rack price was 2.0334. 2.0334. And then, the firm price, the center number is, 0.2795.
Same.
Same as last year. Same with that. And, they're all gonna be the same. So on the blend, for also sulfur, 60/40, the rack price is 2.1900. The differential price is 0.2795, same as last year. And if we were buying it yesterday, it would have come down to 2.4695. Alright, so the firm price, heating oil is 2.6738. Ultra sulfur, which is diesel, of course, 2.5813. And then on the 60/40 blend, it will be 2.9813.
Less than 3% increase. Oh, you can go up,
Heating up a little bit, right?
more than the other ones. It wasn't gonna be going up this, for the winter again, the fluctuating's gotta be big time. But. Right.
Still enough less than, Lincoln, that was the 18 price of it. Last year, Lincoln, 17, it was,
Yeah, well, 40 cents a gallon almost, 47, 18, something 30 or 40 was quite a,
yeah, it was 40 cents. 50 cents on fuel and almost 60 cents on heating fuel. The best year was 2016, where it was at, heating was 1.78.
right.
It was pretty nice.
But it steadily goes up now. So what's the board feel, you wanna stay with the firm, or do you wanna?
I say we go with the firm, those are pretty fair prices.
Very comparable, we're about less than 3% higher than last year.
That fluctuation could really kill us in the middle of winter.
We don't have any idea where it actually went this winter, Mark, or this past winter, they had it
No,
at 259.9. I know you look at over the road, I don't know what the taxes are on a gallon of diesel. We're over the road now, is $3.30, $3.35 a gallon, in that range. Well, how much of that is tax?
It, for my business and stuff, I know it went up, and then here lately, it's been starting to drift back down a little bit. But there was, February there, it went up pretty good on that, but, like I was paying, in Albany, I was paying $2.98 a gallon, and down here, we were paying with $2.59. That's not, that's upsetting, when everybody else was like at, in the Indiana area, was at, $2.20 or in that, but $2.19, $2.21.
Amazing how you get further away or when more competition.
Yeah.
Well, the amazing part is this last month or a month and a half ago, Franklin had the cheapest fuel around. Delhi and Walton were all higher. And, wow, okay, they made up for it now, but that's beside the point. But, so Donnie, are you making a motion to take the firm bid?
I made a motion firm price, I think that's a pretty fair price when you look at the year average,
Second. Garrett seconds, any discussion? All in favor? Carried.
Do calcium next, cause that's the,
Bottom, yeah.
this,
We had no problem getting it from Peckham last year. Is that how-
they had a new dispatcher, and it was a little bit of a screw up, but for the most part, no. It's, it's real well.
I remember right, they were considerably cheaper than the other ones.
Yeah, in fact, okay, I just put down what it went for
Right.
last year at the bottom of the page,
Yep.
but, so this one's gonna be, Peckham, we'll start right at the top of the list. Peckham liquid calcium chloride. Alright, and that's delivered to ours, delivered and applied, right, so Peckham's is, .873.
Cents.
Next one's gonna be, Goldman's. This one sealed pretty good.
I guess so. I'm looking inside that room.
Yeah, that's what it said.
.97 for Gorman's.
Have you ever had them?
I've had them do some work on that calcium.
Okay.
Well, I've been told they do good work, different ones, so, north of here uses them a little more than we do.
Okay.
And then, the last bit I got is, it's gonna be soup coat, and then, you'll see, I didn't put the county price in, but at the bottom, the county price was 1.044. I was having problems finding it, they sent it electronically this year, and it was trying to read through 100 and some odd pages.
There were a lot of bids.
Yeah. So, okay. 1.97 for Gorman's. 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 1.97 for Gor usually they're up in the buck range or more,
Right.
at then.
Right.
My suggestion would be,
Stick with that one.
Suco doesn't usually use calcium, they usually use magnesium chloride.
this year it's,
Even when they bid, still, we always write the bid for calcium, and they would still bring mag, cheaper, doesn't work as well.
Doesn't work as well, okay, that was my next question. Which works better, okay.
yeah,
Oh,
I'll make a motion,
Peckham is the cheapest. We have a motion to accept Peckham as the supplier for calcium chloride. And a second, any discussion? All in favor? Carried.
so, we got two bids on that, so don't ignore the bottom one where it says Hanson and Jordanville. I usually put that in now because, there's usually independent truckers who are gonna pull that. They won't bid out, in the county's bid, that's why it says not available.